Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I start this video, I have to address everything that's been going on in America right now. First of all, my heart breaks for the family of George Floyd and every black person in America who has been affected by our systemic racism and injustice. It's honestly disgusting that this has been going on for so long, and I can't express how livid this makes me feel. I know that as a white woman, I have privilege, and I will never understand or comprehend how it feels to be a black person in this country. It disgusts me how our country seems to get angrier at how people react to racism than they do about racism itself. When they call protesters thugs, even though a lot of these riots were peaceful before the police showed up and started tear gassing and throwing water cannons. I also heard that there were cops going undercover as protesters and instigating this violence. I saw a girl on TikTok who had like a swollen lip because she went to a protest and it was peaceful until the cops started tear gassing them, and she literally looked a cop in the eye and he shot her with the rubber bullet in the face and gave her a swollen lip. And obviously riots aren't good. It's never good when injustice escalates to wars on the streets. But you can't oppress a group of people and silence them for so long and then act surprised when they start screaming. If you're mostly angry at the rioters, look at the root of the problem. Look at why these people are angry, not just at the results of their anger. I cannot speak on behalf of the black community this time, I know, but just know that I stand with you at this time. I acknowledge what's being done to you and what has been done to you for so many years, and I will stand and fight with you. I will link a petition for George Floyd down in the description box below. Please sign it and educate yourself in this matter. Listen to black voices and learn from them. That's all. Today, what we'll be looking at is called the TradWife. I saw Strange Aeon's video about it a while ago, and I recently saw Jimmy Snow do a video on it, but I hadn't really looked into it myself. But then earlier I saw a news segment on BBC about a woman who was a TradWife. So I figured that the universe was just calling for me to talk about this. So I figured, why not dig a little deeper into it myself? A TradWife, as you could probably assume, is basically a name for a traditional wife. This is the woman who takes on the roles of a housewife. This typically includes cleaning, cooking, taking care of housework, raising the children, and submitting to one's husband or wife, usually husband. And obviously, I think there's nothing wrong with pursuing this lifestyle if that's what you want to do. By all means, if you want to stay home and you have the means to do so, go for it. That being said, I did find that some of these posts are a bit problematic. And by that, I mean they seem to shame other people for not being housewives, kind of. And shame people for being feminists, or they have the wrong idea of what feminism is, as a lot of people do. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Feminists say compete with him. God says complete with him.
Are they shaming women for having careers? Saying that you shouldn't be competing with a man in the workforce? You know you can have both, right? You can be complete with your husband and still have a job. You aren't marrying every man in the world. Feminists aren't against marriage by any means. I mean, maybe the few radical feminists that you chose to represent all feminists by are, but definitely not the majority of us. I'm a feminist, and I just believe in choice. The choice to do with your body and with your life whatever you please to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. If you don't want a career and you just want to stay home, that's perfectly fine. But you don't have to choose between a spouse and kids and a job. You can have both, as many families have to do to make ends meet. So I don't really see the point they're trying to make with this post.
Things every husband needs: sex, sandwiches, and submission.
Yep, that's all a husband needs. Definitely not quality time with his wife that he loves and respects. He doesn't need her opinion on anything, her company, anything like that. All his wife is good for is pleasuring him, making him sandwiches, and being obedient. So a maid with extra services? I would like to marry somebody who genuinely makes me happy and whose opinion I value. I want someone who I love dearly and who I can live and laugh and grow with. I wouldn't want somebody just to be there to wait at my every need. This post feels like his wife doesn't even have a personality. Like she's just there to feed his ego and serve him. And how they say every husband just needs this? Gross. Just gross.
Sis, stop hanging out around women who can't promote other women.
I actually have nothing bad to say about this post. I just included it because I thought it was important to say. I hate when I see girls tearing other girls down for no reason. I'm not talking about if somebody is a toxic person by any means, because obviously you can criticize somebody's action regardless of their gender. I'm mostly referring to when I see girls calling other girls sluts and stuff because of the way they dress. Like, why? Just why? When they say that they're objectifying themselves or they're looking for male attention or whatnot. Maybe she just likes her body and feels comfortable showing it off. That's not a crime. We already have a ton of guys who objectify us and call us crude names when we don't dress perfectly modest. So why do you feel the need to add on to that? I love that girls can hype each other up and compliment each other. Even though sometimes when a cute girl compliments me, I just fall in love with her, even though she did not mean it that way, because
I'm dumb.
But I feel like that's something special about us. Guys don't really compliment each other that often, I feel like, and that's really sad. I wish they did that more, you know? So don't ruin it by being a jerk to other girls for no reason. If I hear one more girl making fun of another girl because of her revealing clothing or whatnot, I might just have to break your kneecaps. And that is a threat.
So this post is about how to respect your husband. I didn't really have a problem with it at first, It just seems like some great ways to respect your spouse for the most part. But underneath it, the caption, she said, "If I'm being completely honest, I haven't always respected my husband. I sure thought I did, but my actions showed otherwise. My feminist thinking did a lot of damage to his confidence over the years. Instead of trusting him to lead, I fought hard for my right to have a say. The truth is, women weren't created to lead their husbands. Men thrive on respect. When a wife trusts her husband to lead their family, it empowers him to fulfill the role for which he was created. An honorable man will love and respect her in return. That sounds pretty amazing to me. Do you feel that your marriage is out of balance? Maybe it's time for you to hand over the reins."
Yes, you should obviously respect your partner, but I do have to disagree with some of the things you said. You voicing your own opinion and being your own person should not be hurting your partner's ego. I don't think women were designed to lead men. I don't think men were designed to lead women. I think some people are just kind of natural leaders and other people aren't. It has to do with your personality, whether you're extroverted or introverted and stuff like that, not really your gender. Yes, maybe there's societal pressure in a marriage for the man to be a leader and the woman to be more the follower, but it doesn't have to be like that. And I heard people saying this a lot in church growing up, pastors saying "Oh, yes, wives, you do have to submit to your husband, but don't worry because your husband has to love you." As if loving your significant other is a job in and of itself. You should ideally marry somebody that you love. Why does having the role of loving your significant other, something that both people should be doing, give you some kind of position of authority? And before you say "Oh, it's not a position of authority," or you're misinterpreting it, it is. Leadership is literally a position of authority. Just communicate with your partner and come to agreements. And if you prefer somebody to lead you, that's absolutely fine too. But don't feel as though you have to shut up and let them take the lead because women weren't designed to lead men.
A woman's most prized possession isn't her hair or her beauty. It is her modesty.
I would argue there's none of these things. A person's prized possessions are what they contribute to society, how they impact the people around them, the lives that they change within this world, who they are. That is their prized possession. Why are we constantly reducing women to their appearances? It's funny how they try to say that the world is just shallow and that women are more than just their looks, but then they say this: "Women, you are so much more than just a pretty face. Your most important quality is actually the way you dress. Your value comes from how much skin you cover up. Because women these days are just hoes that let society pressure them into showing off their bodies. No. Don't let society tell you that your worth comes from your body. Instead, let me tell you that your worth comes from whether or not you cover up your body. Because the only way to stop the over-sexualization of women's bodies in the media is to police women's bodies in the opposite way, apparently. Just teach women that their value comes from who they are as a person, not whether they're modest or not in general."
Trying to be a man is a waste of a woman.
This is actually something that I hear a lot from people who oppose feminism. They seem to have this idea that women are trying to be men. And how does wanting a job and wanting to be a more independent person make you want to be the opposite gender? If anything, you're just further enforcing unnecessary gender roles. Just let people do what they want. It's not that deep. These people aren't ashamed to be a woman. They're just pointing out that there's many different ways for a person to be a woman. You can stay at home, you can have a job, you can raise a family, you can be single, you can do whatever the frickin' frack you want. Just teach women that they have options. And then don't shame them for which option they choose. Or tell them that they're going against their gender roles. Gender roles don't matter. At all. Just live your life.
I had to redo this next clip, so that's why I'm in a different outfit than I was before. Sorry. Feminism is the idea that women are free when they serve their employer, but slaves when they serve their husband.
No, it is not. Feminism is just believing that the two genders are equal, and that people should have a choice in what they want to do in their life. Staying home and taking care of the kids is not slavery, and getting a desk job or whatever is not freedom. The choice you have between those two options is freedom. A lot of these people like to pretend that the world hates stay-at-home moms or something. No, most people don't care what you do as long as you're not shaming them for what they do. No one cares if you want to stay home, that's fine. Just do what you want to do and don't shame other people for what they want to do. So that's all we're going to be looking at today. Fortunately, the majority of the Instagram posts I saw under this hashtag weren't really problematic. Most of it was just people living their lives and sharing their lives with their followers. Perfectly fine. But there were a good number of posts as well that were bashing feminism and saying these untrue things. I think just spilling out a false narrative of what feminism really is, and I just felt I need to talk about it. And if it makes anybody feel better, maybe I'll do a video exploring radical feminism as well to get the voices from two opposite sides of the spectrum. As always, please comment down below what you want me to talk about next. And please make sure to go to the link in the description box and sign the petitions that I have there for George Floyd. And I will see you guys next time. Stay safe, y'all.